Okay, are you pouring?
I'm pouring.
All right, okay. Hey there, FLOSSTUBE. This is Cathy, the hands-on designer, and I'm here with...
Bill, Mr. HOD.
And let's see, it's Thursday night. We've been thinking it's Friday all day long, and we've been very disappointed because it's not.
But it's after Friday, 5 o'clock, so.
So there you go, yay! Okay, cheers. All right, what you got?
Strata Forest.
Are those-
Exile Brewing out of Des Moines.
Are those artichokes? Or the hops,
They're
okay.
hops.
They look like artichokes.
The gnomes are adoring the hops, which is
Okay, a little disturbing.
an interesting concept, but Exile makes some very good beer, and
Yeah,
their tap house and restaurant in Des Moines is very,
so if you're
very
ever
good.
in the Des Moines area, we've eaten there a couple times.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have basically a screwdriver. Had to use
Phillips
up.
or flat. Sorry.
Boo.
Boo, that was terrible. I'll stop now. No more beer.
A little vodka, a little OJ, because you know the OJ was about to expire. Gotta use up the
Can't
OJ.
have that happen.
And then a little fizz.
Little Sprite.
Little diet Sprite. Okay. We're having really weird weather. It's finally getting to be spring. Things are finally blooming, and I've gotten spring allergies. Let's see, I got some in March in Nashville, and then I got some in later March in Virginia, and now we're getting the Iowa allergies. So yay! So I'm all the afternoon I could feel my sinuses, and now I have a sore throat. So gotta have my orange juice, got a little vitamin C.
It's medicinal.
Yeah. And I have to point out my cup. This is kind of one of those if you know, you know moments. If you've ever been to Salty Yarns, before they had their new location. You see that? Langford Hotel. If you know, you know. If you've been there, you've been there. I actually taught there a couple times when they had the Fall Jamboree needle workshop on the boardwalk right by the beach. But of course now the hotel's been sold because they had the hotel too. And they have their brand new, huge, I think like 8,000 square feet location. They just had their grand opening this week. So that was fun to see. I know the Sarah and Sally and Mary have been working really hard on it. So we wish them the best in their new location. So
Absolutely.
Anyway, so I had to get this out for my drink because I love these insulated tumblers. So anyway, so thank you for joining us again. And we got a lot of positive feedback. Yay, you're cooking again. And we were both kind of like, yeah, let's do that tonight. But, and we didn't really know what to do, but this week I got, some good feedback on a picture I put up in our story of an asparagus dish that we've had quite a bit this spring. Now that we're kind of getting some asparagus, we're getting that nice thin, tasty asparagus, not the real thick stuff. And so you're going to cook it. So you're going to start prepping it. So you've got, you want to start with? We got a cookie sheet. We got some sprayed some Pam on it, and you got your asparagus, cherry tomatoes, and some garlic, and olive oil, and some Parmesan classic. So really you're just gonna clean and cut the end.
That's part of the recipe too.
Oh, okay. Clean the asparagus and cut the end of it off. Lay it out on the pan, and then you talk. I do all the talking.
We basically lay it out in a layer in the pan, and then down the middle put a ribbon of the Parmesan. Then take the cherry tomatoes, wash them, cut them in half, put them in a bowl, mix them with 3 cloves of garlic, and spread that out on the cheese.
Oh, vampire share.
No. Not within 20 miles. And then put it in the oven, 15 minutes at 425, comes out.
It's really good.
And it's a good one. You found it somewhere online.
I found it on TikTok.
It was like Sure, let's try it.
Well, and it's funny because the guy, I can't remember the name of the guy, but I keep forgetting to like follow him, but fortunately I've watched enough of his videos that they come up in my feed on TikTok, and he, I don't know if he doesn't speak English, but he doesn't really give the recipe in English. You have to watch the video like 3 or 4 times. So it's very simple. I mean, this is a simple recipe. And so we watched it a couple times and go, okay. And then I read the comments, because then somebody always goes, recipe? ? And then he'll say it, but not in English. So somebody always kindly translates, or we just kind of make it up as we go along, which is kind of how we cook a lot. So. Anyway, so you're going to do that, and then I'm going to talk about new releases. Yay! So we've got 5 new releases shipping to shops next week. I posted one today. The email went out this morning to shops. The way I work is I'll do like sneak peeks on Instagram and Facebook, and I don't post the whole thing until I let shops know, because as a former shop owner, I know that it was nice to have the information before my customers would come in and go, I saw this. So hopefully they read their email early this morning, and we might get a bell rung here. Anyway, maybe not. But
she's more interested in the food.
Yeah, she's looking to see what Bill's dropping on the floor.
Trust me, Days, you don't want asparagus.
I was gonna say, is asparagus good for dogs? I don't know.
I want to find out.
Oh yeah. But so anyway, so the first one I posted today was a classic Christmas, and you all seem to really like it. So yay! It's just been a fun design for me. So I'm going to share it. I guess I should just talk about it. Let's talk about it. So it says Merry Christmas. And I called it a classic Christmas as opposed to Merry Christmas, just because I'm sure I probably in my files have a design called Merry Christmas, maybe? I don't know.
Possible.
But I just thought I would do something different, because to me, it's just a classic design. Not maybe your traditional red and green. And actually in this lighting, the linen is really coming off very green. It's not, it's neutral. It's a Witchelt linen. It's I think it's golden, it's one of their country French linens. If you don't have that, or your shop doesn't have that, I encourage the shops, any like kind of a neutral, raw, dirty, hand-dyed, I'm sure there's gotta be a lot that would work. It's DMC floss, so do a floss toss on some neutrals, and I can't wait to see what you come up with, because if you're a member of the HOD Stitchers group, I go there every day for just to have my spirits lifted, because everybody is just, number one, super nice. But I see lots of pictures of everybody's finishes.
The creativity is pretty amazing.
It is. And so I can't wait to see what this one is. Now, a few were saying, oh, well, we've seen that before. This was my class for the Jingle Ball last year. So this is the first it's been released. I think I only had like 50 people in my class. So only 50 people have had this design for a year. So anyway, so I hope you enjoy it. Again, DMC, it's just one of it's I don't know, get ready for Christmas in July. It's just a fun, quick stitch. I don't know. I love everything about it. You got your little poinsettias, you got your little houses, like your putz houses. And then I just love making like all the textured greens up there, because I love like when we do greens on the mantle, I like having different textures. So that's kind of what I was trying to do when I was designing up top, just have the different types of leaves and berries and all that kind of fun stuff. So I did do a Rick Rack. It's a classic Christmas green, lady.create, so your shop can order that for you. It's also available on her Etsy site. And then I have had some questions about the finishing. Is there a tutorial for it? Not specifically for this finish. And you're gonna go, gosh, that looks well, maybe you are, I don't know. A lot like the finish that I did for the faces, the resting witch face, the resting beach face, and then the resting stitch face. That's because it's the same finish. It's actually the same size. So if you have finished any of those charts, you can finish this. I do have the fabrics listed. Let's see, I don't know that I've put it on the website yet. the information, but the fabrics that I used for the finishing, they're super fun. I will list the fabrics that I used. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here after I show you all the releases too. I want to let you know something that's on the website. So super fun. We're coming up to Christmas in July. And I told y'all back a while ago that we were going to have a little bit of Christmas throughout the year. So we're kind of doubling up on the Christmas because Polar Plunge is technically a Christmas series because it's meant to be ornaments.
Exactly.
So, and there is a little bit of red and green in there. But again, this is kind of what I'm calling like slightly non-traditional Christmas colors, even though it's a classic Christmas. DMC, so if you really prefer more like that, like the traditional Kelly green and rich red, it would be so easy to switch this out. And I think it would be beautiful on that as well. Yeah. So, Classic Christmas, heading to your shops next week. They're going to be emailing me. Well, there's some are emailing pre-orders now, but they're going to be emailing me. Deadline is noon on Monday. And then it takes us about 2 days to process and then get everything shipped out to shops. So orders will start heading to shops next Wednesday. So they'll have it very quickly and then they'll be getting it out to you. Not sure where to get this. I do have a list of shops on my website that do carry my charts automatically. So take a peek there. You can always, a lot of times I get a ton of messages every week that, where can I get this? Where can I get this? And what I try and do is I try and connect you with a shop that's close by. You may not have a local brick and mortar shop, but I try and get you something that's close by. I've said it before in videos. I always find it's very important to build a relationship with a shop. Just because sometimes my local shop is Ginny, now Shanty Stitcher. Now she will ship, but I know that, even if I wasn't a designer for a living, I could call her up and say, hey, I really need more of this. And, and she knows me and she kind of knows what I like to do. And, and she just, yep, I'll pop that right in the mail to you if I can't say drive up there or whatever. But anyway, Classic Christmas. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm sort of all over the place.
No, you're fine.
We did not practice. I did not practice.
I didn't
all right.
either.
All right. So then did we do Polar Plunge next? I can't remember. We're just going to go to Polar Plunge.
There you go.
So
This is an unscripted series.
It really is. Always. So the next two in the Polar Plunge Christmas ornament series are out. And we have Penguin Pear. That's the next one. So we got, I kept calling that Mama Penguin, but I thought in documentaries that we've watched, it's the Papa Penguin. They a lot of times sit on the egg there because the moms will go off. I don't know. We've watched a lot of documentaries lately. We've turned into those people. And so anyway.
We can't remember a darn thing about it.
I know. Apparently we weren't paying too close attention. Anyway, we got a little junior penguin and mom or dad, I'm not sure. But anyway, so just a lot of fun. They're floating on the iceberg. And we've got some little mountain range in this one. And you can see I've got, again, that little ornament. I finished it in the same way. That Polar Pack finishing boards from Chantal. The linen is Polar Plunge, Fabrics by Stephanie. The rickrack is Snow. That's again from Lady Dot. You can get all of this through your local shop. And let's see what. Oh, the finishing tutorial is live up now on my YouTube channel. And I walk you through. It's one of those where I kind of talk over and we go step by step with the pictures. I think that's been really beneficial for a lot of people. So we're gonna try and keep doing those sometimes. Mix it up. But anyway, so Penguin Pear. I just think they're so cute. And there's a little fish. He's probably gonna be dinner later. Hey, wow. Circle of life.
Are we having fish and asparagus tonight?
No, we're not. We're having chicken.
Okay.
Also, circle of life.
Just checking.
Anyway, So, and then after the penguin pear, I really got stuck on the peas this time, polar plunge and whatnot. We've got the puffin party. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 puffins at the puffin party. And with the puffins that I've seen, there's a lot more, I'm sure, you know, floating around out here, there, and everywhere. I just love, they're just sitting on little rocks. And we've got little baby fishies that, again, they're dinner. We had, I knew that there was going to be puffins in this series. Well, number one, you asked for puffins, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because you like puffins.
Well, it was such a fun trip.
It was a fun trip. A number of years ago, I've talked about this before, we got to go, I taught over in the Netherlands at the Handwerk Boutique, Antics shop. What a fun experience that was. And that was how many years ago? Almost 6 years ago?
It was 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. It was 2018. It was right after we moved in.
Oh my gosh, 5 years ago. Wow, time to go back.
Okay.
Well, Iceland, because we flew Iceland Air, and they were having a deal on the airlines, like you could stay over and not get charged more. I don't know, whatever the deal was.
You could break up your flight, stay in Reykjavik or wherever you wanted to in Iceland for any number of days.
So we did, and never been to Iceland before. It was both it was my first trip overseas, not yours, but so we didn't have very long. And one of the things for sure we wanted to do was go see the puffin. And I always tell this funny story is because we had to go out on what's the name of that boat that we took?
It was like a Zori, like a big rubber boat into the harbor.
Yeah, into the freezing cold water. And we had to put on these big suits. I felt like the Michelin man, you know, because basically
if you fell into the cold water, they're warm suits.
Sayonara. Well, we had to fill out, okay, the funny thing was, okay, so we're together, we're going to get in this boat, we're going to go out and see the puffin, we're getting on this, you know, he said it went really fast. I thought it went really fast. And you have to put this suit on, and then you had to sign a waiver. And in the waiver, you had to like list your emergency contact, and
it's not very effective in that situation.
And I even said to the guy, jokingly said, well, we're each other's emergency contacts, so what happens if, and he just kind of laughed. I was like, okay.
Let's stay out of the water today.
Exactly. And it was a fairly calm day, but it was overcast that day. But they took us out to where the puffins were there was like all these craggy rocks, and just I mean, they were fast. It was hard to get good pictures of them.
Swimming, and they were doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So that was kind of what I tried to recreate. There were, I don't know that there were necessarily starfish, okay, but that's my little artistic license. And the rocks were just covered with like snow and greenery and little flowers, and that was, you know, it was very idyllic.
It was a really neat experience.
Yeah, and it was really cool, and lots of cute little houses there, and not too many trees in this one because there actually aren't a lot of trees in Iceland. So a lot of the others I put more trees in. This one, just a couple, because there really aren't that many trees there. So puffin party, welcome to the party. So that now makes us, are you ready? Oh, you want to show?
We need a recipe break.
Okay, all right. Commercial break. Okay, oh yum.
Lay out the asparagus, run the cheese across. And then your tomatoes, mix them with the garlic, cut them in half, and then put them across the...
The dog's eating the cat food again. She thinks we're not paying attention. So, anyway.
And then you run it across the
Love
cheese.
it. And it smells so good. Very garlicky.
There's a little bit of garlic in it.
I love it. And it's enough to make the asparagus tender. And you just you cut off the end. You washed them, and you just cut off the end where it gets kind of, you know, like that grainy,
where it
woody.
gets woody.
Yeah. And I really like this with the thinner asparagus. You know, I think you'd have to cook it a little bit longer if you had much thicker asparagus, or, you know, I don't know, maybe do it on the grill or something like that. So, anyway, okay. All right. So we have, you want to show it?
And after that's done,
it's so pretty. So
$4.25 for 15 minutes.
I think this would be a good company dish just because it's so pretty. I don't know. I think it is.
And it's very tasty.
All right.
Now I can wash my hands.
Okay. To go along with okay, so I started talking about this. Sorry, I told you we're kind of all over the place. So the first 3 came out at market. Polar Bear Peak, Wally the Walrus, and Whale, hello there. So now we have the Penguin Pear and the Puffin Party. And we got one more, and that's the donation one, the Narwhal. So I'm not gonna talk much about that now, or about that at all now, because that will be later in May. We wanted to release these 2 and then wait a little bit of time to get that final and 6th one. And that won't be, that's after we get back, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, so, but I got something in the mail this week. I got a couple things in the mail this week that were a nice little surprise. And my friend Lois was having a covert conversation with you at market, and it's, do you love when you walk up to 2 people talking and they kind of look at you and they smile and you go, what you talking about? And they go, nothing. Yeah, I don't like that. Anyway, so Lois did end up talking to me about this to make sure it was okay with me, and of course it's fine with me. But she sent me a fun little Lois package. I just love when I get an email that says, you have a package on the way from Lady Dot Creates. So she's calling this Arctic Antics. It's a scissor fob. Lois and her little bit of bling, but it's a scissor fob. Now I did not get the scissors mine, so but look, it's got a polar bear on it, and this one has a penguin on it, and it's got a little whale on it, and then of course just some fun snowflake. But it's the perfect scissor fob for stitching your polar plunge ornaments and any kind of winter ornaments. And it just attaches, it's got this great swivel clip to attach to your scissors. Like I said, these are my scissors. If you like these scissors, they're listed on my website. I always gotta do the plug. But that's just so fun. And she's got these listed now on her, actually, as soon as I start uploading this, I'm supposed to email her and go, hit the button. And she's got these listed now on her Etsy shop, and I will put an address below. I love that polar bear. He's a hefty little charm there. There's some body to him, but he has a polar bear. So, but anyway, isn't that adorable? I just love the scissor charm. And I mean, if you don't put it on your scissors, you could put it on your your project bag, like a zipper pull or anything. Just so many fun things. But she asked, permission, because Lois is always very proper. She doesn't want to step on toes, and I can't imagine her ever stepping on my toes. So, but just so much fun. So, get that at her Etsy site. Now she's made a certain amount, and I do know something else, because another little package arrived that later, when the Narwhal releases, there may be something to coordinate with that chart too. That's all I'm allowed to say. So go get your polar bear. And I don't know.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Now, I don't know, are they all going to have the same charms, or were they going to be, I can't remember what she said. It'll say on her Etsy site if there's going to be different charms, but I'm thinking they were all going to have a polar bear.
Yeah, I think so.
They were all going to be this. Just adorable. I love her charms. They're really cool charms. So, okay. Then, now these 2 are next in the Plaid All Year. Now, we did actually show, I won't go on too much about them, because we did actually show you in the last video, but Day at the Beach. You want to hold that? So that's on that fun on the edge shelf, stitched in on the 32 count slate, Fabrics by Stephanie with Cosmo threads. DMC substitutions are on the chart. It's the number in parentheses behind the Cosmo number. That's always where I put my DMC subs on every chart that I do. This came from Chantal's. The finishing tutorial is up for this. Let's see, what else? I don't know. And I just had fun. I had fun kind of dressing this one out. Just a couple seashell or starfish, and then beach glass in a little jar. And that jar I actually reused from, I think it was spring. So, and I put some little sprigs of lavender in that one. And then the backing fabric, I did something kind of fun. Okay, this actually, I think it's like a 30s print. It's a Lori Holt fabric. If you go closer with it. I liked it because to me, I saw it and I thought the tops, they're little, like they're like stop sign shaped. And they look like if you're looking top down on a beach umbrella. And then you've got the little, like the blue dot in there, which could either be sea glass or a little bit of the beach. Of course, you've always got your sandcastle, and every sandcastle has to have a flag. The beach umbrella has to be red in my book, because in my world, beach umbrellas were always red. And so and to me, so if you're, you're in have your different seasons, remember this is one where you just pull it off. And it's on there with magnets. I'm gonna show the back. I have 2 magnets just because mine travel. And, but one would be fine, and just put this. So if you're gonna go have a day at the beach and you wanna signal to your family, we're going to the beach today, or gonna head out on vacation, put that up. One time this winter, I switched from winter to day at the beach, only because it was really cold and I was tired of snow.
Tired of winter.
So that was fun. And here's another one. Now these two are kind of not a holiday, but just sort of an any day, a special occasion kind of thing. Happy birthday. I wanted to do this one because, well, I don't have little kiddos at home anymore. We both have birthdays. And wouldn't that be fun for like grandkids, your kids, nieces, nephews, whatever, if you're gonna have a party, just signify that it's their special day. I think that's kind of fun. And I made I didn't want you to feel like you had to go reinvent the wheel every time to fill this little tray. You could put candies in here. You could put all kinds of fun things, but this is literally just like stuff that you put in a gift and a cupcake holder, and then you could even fill it with more of that greenery. So many fun options, and you could change the colors. I tried to make it fairly neutral, not too pink, not too blue, just fun, bright colors. So, and again, if you didn't want to stitch it for that, to put on the shelf, what a fun little ornament just to hang somewhere in the house, just to signify.
Or as a gift.
As a gift, yep. Say happy birthday, woohoo! Anyway, so those are the 2 newest on the edge, Year in Plaid designs for the on the edge display shelf. And so that's it. That's all 5 of the new releases. But I have a few fun things to talk about because number one, I always get asked, what finishing fabrics did you use? Okay, and I like to mix up the fabrics. And again, I did, when I post this chart on my website as part of the catalog, I will list the fabrics that I used. But when I originally bought this for class, I bought yards of fabric. So a lot of times I do that when I'm organizing for a class because I don't know always necessarily how many people are going to be in the class and how many more times I might teach it, because I really try and... You
don't want to be short.
Right. Yeah. And so we were looking, and I had lots of this left. And I know, so what we did is we cut them up into 8.5-inch squares, which is what was in the finishing kit, for the class. And we have packed them up, and they are on the website. I don't have a ton left, but if you can grab them, great, go for it. Is anybody left here watching us now? So what I've done is I've put them in a little pack like this. There's your fabrics. It's enough to make it. And I put in a little pack with a cover sheet. So if you're gonna tuck it in somewhere later, you'll remember, what did I get this fabric for? There is no finishing instructions. It is just the finishing fabric. It's not the rickrack, it's not the ribbon, it's nothing else. What I did is I just thought, we were kind of talking, and we thought if you don't have a local quilt shop, or it's hard for you to get out to one, or you don't want to go buy yards or even a fat quarter when just an 8.5 inch by 8.5 inch square will do. We just chunked those up, and what we have left, we have left. Now, I do say, because I've had quite a few questions about a finishing tutorial, look at FLOSSTUBE number 66 for the lacing and the rickrack instructions, and FLOSSTUBE 23 for attaching the cotton fabric to the boards, to the mat board and to the foam core. So there is assistance out there, and it's not a difficult finish. So I don't have a particular one, but anyway, so yeah, so we have a few of these left on the website. And then in the class and in the photo, I've had a few people say, where do you get the red easel? And this was part of the class. Always questions.
You look in the garage for the red floor.
That's right.
It's pink now.
It's worn off over the winter.
It'll be all right.
So I found these at a craft store. They're inexpensive. You can actually get them like already painted black, but I wanted red. I thought it would be fun. So as part of the class, I bought these, and then I spray painted all of them to be red. And yes, we were spray paint. Okay, a lot of different coats of paint, only because you got to get here, you got to get there, got to get it there, you got to get it,
Well, when it's 10 degrees outside, you really can't spray paint outside.
Yeah, no. So we were in the garage. And we did the first round, and then the cars got pulled outside.
We didn't leave the cars there.
So,
oh my goodness.
But we laid out the sawhorses, and we put out the big boards, which are now red.
They are very red.
And then we had like grids on them to kind of lift them off the surface. And then we realized that we had oversprayed I had oversprayed onto the floor. So if you pulled out of the garage, the floor actually looked pink.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
it's all good.
So then for the remaining, you would go out there. I'd be spray painting. I wish we should have put a camera up. You're holding a tarp up like this.
I've got a rake with the plastic sheet up at the top of the rake. I'm holding that, and it's the most absurd thing you've ever seen in your life. But it was somewhat effective.
Anyway,
worked as a stretch.
So the idea is that, you just set it somewhere like that. Do you need the easel? No, you don't. Is it cute? Yes, it is. It is a bright red, not a bright red. I'm okay with that. I love mixing different shades of the colors. I do not live by the matchy-matchy rule. Do I?
No, you do not.
So anyway, and while we're talking about this, if anybody is still here listening, a lot of times we say, oh, we're gonna list fabric packs. And I'll be honest, a lot of times we don't get them done because we get caught up in the moment of
it's time.
It's, and it goes, unfortunately, to the bottom of the list. So I know some people get a little frustrated when we say, oh yeah, we're gonna put fabric packs online. We are going to try and get much better, which is why I was like determined that these would be online while we're shooting this video. But I've gone back now and I've gotten the other fabric cut. So if you remember Beach Please and that fun pillow, I had a couple extra yards of this. So I've chunked that up into fat quarters. So you can get that. Again, these do not include finishing instructions. There's other areas, ways you can get. It's just that if you're not able to find this fabric, or you don't have a local shop, that kind of thing, it's a good way to keep it in your stash. And then I gave you a little cover so you can pop that in that chart and you know what that's for. Another one I did was for the Between Friends that Beth and I did, the spring sampling. I know these were older fabrics. I talked with Beth about it. I said, hey, look, I've got yards of this. This one I know is hard to find. So I cut this into fat quarters, and then this is not a fat eighth, but an eighth. And this is enough to finish the projects in the spring sampling book. So not a ton of them up there, and when they're gone, they're gone. I'm not getting any more of those in. It's just I'm trying to kind of offer a little, make it convenient for some people, some of you. And then the last one I also did was the snow on the ground. I said we were going to list the wool 1-inch strips for the wool felt for your roof. I gave the resources to buy the wool felt, but again, just thought it might be more convenient for a few of you to do, to buy them already done. And this is plenty to roof your pincushion. And we are not, the pricing on everything is just, it's basically, it's our cost. We're not, we're just doing it as a service. So if you go to the website, you click on shop, that takes you to 4 pages. One's
or a page with 4 menu options.
Yes, and there's, what's new, and then there's the full catalog, and then there's,
Put me on the spot here.
I know, me too. Oh, print or download.
Yeah.
And then the final one is fiber finishing and notions. And what goes there is, a lot of the thread packs that we have, scissors, and some of those extra things that, like, when they're gone, they're gone. Like we just had it for a special event. The tape, well, the tape we always carry because just it's hard to forget that sometimes. But when I have things that are left over from a class or an event, and they're there, and just check back there often because we'll post something there. But when they're gone, they're gone. So that's where you will go and find these. So go to that section and So
Did we have easels, or are we not? We did not.
No,
Okay.
No, because I'm not spray painting all. And seriously, they were very inexpensive. You can just get those at like any kind of, like, a craft store, or I've seen them at Walmart, and they're really inexpensive. They're they're not meant to be heavy duty, but it's just fun to get them and paint them in different colors. So a lot of fun. But I was gonna show a little bit of the one class I'm stitching on. Should I do that?
Sure.
Little sneak peek.
And mention the other classes.
Yes. So our last FLOSSTUBE, we talked about, we were telling how we had just come back from Virginia. And now our next trip is actually an exciting one for the wedding. Yay, finally. The event is here, or almost here. So that's going to be a big trip. So there's going to, a couple weeks, I'm going to kind of go silent for a while, because we want to enjoy the event with our family. Anyway, so I'll talk more about that later. I'll post something, So orders will, if you order on the website, that kind of thing, there'll be a slight delay. And then, but we'll get right back on it when we get back home. But what else? Oh, and then in July, I'm going to a stitching shop.
It just happens to be close by.
Yeah.
What we need is close by.
Yes, sorry. I didn't mean to walk away.
Oh, you're fine.
So I'm working on the model. Normally, I'm not working on the model this close to the class, but with everything that was going on between market and the other travels and whatnot, but the chart's been done for a while and that kind of thing, but I need a model to be able to teach from. But anyway, so we're going to do, there'll be a tray, and there'll be a pincushion, and there'll be a needle book, and I'm just going to show the one part because I love this piece. I've been sneak peeking this one on my stories, and I just love that. I love the texture, and just a lot of fun. Fall colors. It's called Folk Art Fall. I believe she has some class spots open, so it's a stitchingshop.com is her website, so go there. It's also listed on my, yes, it's in Denver. It's 2 days.
Excuse me.
And I'll be teaching for 2 days, and you're coming with me, right? So yay. You're coming to all the classes. You gonna teach?
That almost happened in Virginia.
Yes, it did.
Somebody barely had a voice.
I know, no voice, and
but we spared the students and didn't subject them to me, because that would not have been a good experience.
And then also, I've been talking with Chantel, We've been kind of making our plans and getting things going. I think we've got a good handle on what we're going to do for the pep rally, which is the theme of her retreat. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, don't be concerned that, like, you know, you're not getting a piece with, like, I don't know, school motifs and whatnot. She and I have worked out. It was funny. I hadn't talked to her for, oh gosh, probably, I don't know, close to a month. I saw her at market. Yeah. Then she traveled, and then we traveled, and then it was funny because we finally were like, hey, we need to talk, and she was so excited. I was so excited, and I said, well, I've been kind of thinking about this, and she's like, oh my gosh, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I love when that happens. It is like one of the coolest things ever. I love getting off the phone with her because I'm so energized and pumped. So, and then I'm also working on.
When is that one?
But that one is in September. Okay. And dates are on the website.
In Michigan.
In Michigan. And then go look at the events page on my website. Not classes, because that's actually pictures of classes that I teach, or examples of pictures of classes that I teach, for the events. And then Dying to Stitch is in late October, and I've been dying to go to Dying to Stitch, and I'm super excited about that one too. They've sent me some fabrics to choose from, and I've been working on the project, just you know, doing something fun with that one. And we're back in Virginia, so
we've got some great places to go.
Yes, and I think with all of the retreats, I know Dying to Stitch, there only have maybe a few left. But she does do a waiting list, and then I think Michigan, there might be a few spots left there too. So I don't know. So a couple spots, but I know they're getting close on them. So if it's something that you're thinking about, and with all my classes, with the exception of Dying to Stitch, you get pre-stitching, because the whole thing is that you leave with a finished project, and that's the fun of it, and you learn some good skills in the process. So anyway, sorry, I didn't want that ice cube. Anyway, so I think that's it. Fun new releases. Thank you for spending time with us, and go grab you some asparagus, and
yeah, give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. It's very easy, takes no time at all,
and if I find that
tastes really good. If
I find that account on TikTok, I'll have to put his name, because he does. And there was another recipe we got from him too.
I don't recall.
Oh, I think I saved it, so we'll have to try it. I like easy recipes that are, you know, healthy and fresh.
Well, since I'm here full time now, we've got more time to do things like that. So, which is,
it's a lot of fun. It's
a good thing.
Yes. So, all right, one final cheers. Look, you're always one of these videos. I'm gonna keep up with you. That could be interesting. All right. Well, we better go and get dinner going. And thank you so much. And contact your shop. I've heard from a lot of shops with their orders, and a lot of people are really excited about it, which makes me happy. And get ready for your Christmas in July stitching. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon. In the meantime, enjoy the stitch.